Big Matt McChesney. Bring him on. I'm not doing no long intro. Bring on Big Matt. What's up? What's going on, man? I love the hoodie. He's locked in, all black, everything, black shade. Looks like the fucking Terminator right now. A straight badass. Colorado's 8-2, but what do I know? What does Matt know? I'm sure JB has 1,000 more excuses right now. Who they played against? How you feeling right now, Big Matt? I ain't seen you in 2 weeks.
What's happening? How's everybody?
Good,
what up,
man? Good.
Congrats, 8-2. Leading the way right now into the Big 12 title game, possibly, right? You probably are it's in your wheelhouse to get this done. You control your destiny, right?
Yeah, if they win out, they're in. But this could happen as well.
A win over Kansas and wins by Utah and BYU. Okay, so it's like multiple different ways for them.
Yeah, Utah's at Iowa State. I don't know. I mean, Utah's pretty beat up. Yeah, and then BYU. I can't remember who they play.
Gotcha.
Hey, look, that was my lock pick of the week. I picked KU to beat BYU on BetUS. So shout out to them. I also picked Arizona State to beat K-State. Shout out to Kenny Dillingham, a young rising coach of the year candidate over there in Arizona State. I think Arizona State plays BYU, if I'm not mistaken, which could be beneficial for Colorado.
Yeah, I think they do actually too.
Yeah, so that could be beneficial for Colorado. What did you see from your team the other day, man? In a game that just seemed like they were hitting on all cylinders for a while there, and he throws a pick to start the game. Utah has no offense and no QB. We already knew. I was actually surprised Utah did as well as they did with the QB later to come back, cut it in within 15, I think with 8 minutes left or something. I'm like, damn, they tried to onside, I believe. I just thought Colorado dominated in all facets. I just think Utah's banged up as any team in the country, and no quarterback hurts you, as you know. Where are you at with this performance overall?
Well, 8-2 feels good. I mean, I've been beating this drum for a long time, so to be sitting in this position feels good. I'm not going to lie. I think CU's the best team in the Big 12. I don't even think it's close. BYU's a good team, but CU is an explosive team with a bunch of NFL players on it, and that's on defense. I'm not even talking about the offense. Their defense is mean. They are fast. They can rush the passer. They are turnover-centric, and they have bought into Coach Livingston's MO on how to do things. Coach Prime is the transfer portal wizard. I mean, his way works. So, it's all that crow out there in the world. It's served with barbecue sauce. Thank you. But they're not done. It's not over. 8-2 is not the goal. I think that the Kansas game coming up is an extremely hard matchup. They're a good football team. I think that could be, it's a trap game. It's in Arrowhead. But I think CU knows that. They're not stupid. Oklahoma State is bad. So we'll see what happens there. But CU should be playing for the Big 12 title, and it puts them in position to maybe be the 4 seed. So I'm pumped, man. I mean, I couldn't be more excited for the future of the program, for what they've got going on right now, for what Coach Prime has built. The atmosphere up there was incredible. Singing "Happy Birthday" to Peggy on her 100th birthday was incredible. Like, it was just, it's everything I knew was underlying at that place that just needed to be pulled out by the right person. And Coach Prime is the right guy. So not only that, but Juju,
he committed from SC. Yeah,
from SC. That's coming this week. I ain't telling you it's a guarantee, but I'm 99% positive that kid's going to be a buff. And then the amount of recruits that were there, including my son was there, obviously, as a recruit on Saturday. Obviously, like. Not to sound like a dick or anything, but that was pretty cool again. And then Michael Carroll, all 6'8" of him was there, and the IMG connection, and I mean all these just badasses everywhere. Just the great 4-star players at every turn. And I got to talk to a lot of them and being up there with all the recruits and whatnot. And what Coach Prime's doing is working. It is absolutely working, and it resonates with the younger generation, and they love it. And I'm just. Like, I don't know, man. What do you think, bro? I mean, you're the hardest critic on these guys that I've ever seen. I understand that Utah's beat up and shit. They put 50 points on them. Like,
yeah.
And before JD said something,
they beat the shit out of them.
I predicted they would score 56 points, and everybody on the show said, "Oh, you're crazy. Utah defense is still legit. You're fucking insane. You sound stupid as hell."
I didn't think they would score 49. I said it on my show. Somebody said they scored 50, and I was like, not against Utah's defense, and then bam.
Yeah, that's just how banged up they are on offense.
I really think they played very well, honestly. I thought Colorado was kind of sloppy, and they still scored 50.
I believe that's how bad Utah is on offense, as Matt will understand.
I think that's how good CU is on offense.
Yeah, no, but as a coach, like if you're that bad on offense, your defense eventually loses some faith and being on the field as long as they are. And Smitty, you know this. I mean, fuck.
Well, Utah had you.
I said that though. That's one of my reasons. That's why I was.
Yeah, but hold on. They weren't on the field as long as they were. Utah had the ball 12 minutes longer than CU in the game. So,
I mean, I'm talking about transition. If you're on the field and then you get ball and you get hit quick over the top of Baghdad,
down, be ready. He's like, damn.
They score quick, and then Utah gets the ball on offense and fucking does nothing with 8-minute drives. It just hurts your team. I just think they don't have no quarterback. No excuse. You guys.
But again, they did have the ball for 12 minutes more than CU did in the game. So
yeah. You guys beat the shit out of them. No question about it. I'm picking KU this week. Here's what it is, though. Let me ask you something. Let me be honest. Well, listen, I think I'm doing Colorado a favor. I'm picking them every week against them, and you guys.
The transition was hilarious, though. That's why I laughed.
Here's what I want to ask Matt, though. In all seriousness, Matt just asked me what I thought, because I'm a critic. Here's my issue I have.
I don't want you to pick us, actually. Fuck you.
Can two things be true, though, as Smitty always says? Like, is this just kind of like the stars have aligned? You guys have come into this division. You guys were picked first, I believe, preseason. I think Arizona State was picked last. They're actually in this hunt for winning the whole thing.
What did you say we were picked first? We were picked like 12th.
Over in the whole thing? I'm talking about this side.
This side? What do you mean?
Don't they have like the side of the conference, like that you don't play those teams? You didn't play BYU, Iowa State, Arizona State.
No, there's no more divisions.
Okay, so you guys were picked 12th overall in the Big 12?
Yes.
Of how many teams?
16.
All right, so you're picked 12 out of 16 teams. I think Arizona State was picked last.
Yep.
Here's what I want to ask you, though. Isn't the stars aligned where you guys can just happen to be in a conference that we all thought was going to be way better? That just hasn't been. You guys have played the teams when you do that just have seemed to have nothing going for them. And I think two things can be true. Utah's riddled with injury. I think they're picked first, weren't they? So that team was riddled with injury. I just think the stars have aligned, but you guys have won every game you're supposed to. So that's the bottom line. You can't take that away from them. I'm not going to say I'm a dick riding hater. You guys have won the game you're supposed to win. But at the end of the day, I still say, who have you beat? Well, it is not a top 10 team. So at the end of the day, you guys are projecting you guys are this good and you guys can beat anybody in the country. That's what Matt just said. That's a projection, in my opinion, right? It's an assumption because you haven't proved it yet. You lost to
technically speaking, it's an assumption. Technically,
well, technically, is what facts are.
Yeah, isn't everything an assumption?
Right.
I mean, what are we?
No. Your opinion is, but the fact of the matter is,
yeah, but your opinion also that they can't do it is an assumption. So what do you? What?
No, but they can't. They haven't though. That's a fact. They haven't
because they're not on the schedule though. So we just haven't seen it.
No, right? They played a ranked team, bro. K-State beat them. They lost. They lost to a ranked Nebraska at the time. So those are facts. It's not my opinion.
Nebraska wasn't ranked when you played.
Nebraska wasn't ranked, and you said top 10. I'm sorry, I was just listening to what you said. Top 10.
They were ranked. He hasn't beat a top 10 team.
Nebraska was not ranked when we played, and Kansas State was 20th or something.
Got you. So they haven't beat a ranked team is all I'm saying. You're assuming that he can beat anybody in America. Jeff Nadu picked them and Jeff Nadu came out and gave shots to Matt Bailey, said you guys turned his mind. He bet when it was when it was 25,000 plus 25,000, he bet $1,000 on it. I think 6 weeks ago. It's now plus 400 or something to win it all. So, hey, shit, man, jump on it. It is what it is.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited about everything. I mean, I'm the kind of winner that just here it is. Like, I'm not going to like rub people's face in it and shit. Not yet, because we haven't really accomplished anything yet. Again, the goal is not to win 8 games. But I will say this. Coach Prime's the National Coach of the Year. Travis Hunter's winning the Heisman, undoubtedly. And Shedeur Sanders is the first pick in the draft. And there's probably 10 guys on this team that are going to be drafted. So, and I think they could have the potential to be better down the road, even with Travis and Shedeur gone, because of the way that they're recruiting right now. So I think that they have the opportunity to just take over the Big 12, regardless of what the conference is or is not. It is like, we didn't make the conference. You know what I'm saying? Like, you play where you play. So,
well, Cignetti's the coach of the year. Cignetti's the coach of the year. It's not even close. I don't agree with you on that. You can't lose a game.
It's close.
I would say that Coach Prime wins it because he's Coach Prime, but that's me.
Yeah, I agree.
I also, you could say the same thing about Indiana. Indiana hasn't beat anyone. Indiana's not beating ranked teams every week. They're just undefeated. So, like
they got to play one.
What?
They got to play this week against one though.
Right. So
Ohio State's going to shit stomp Indiana, bro.
We'll see. It'll be interesting.
That's just my opinion, but again.
I mean, historically, that's what's happened, Matt.
You know what, Matt? I will say this before you transition. Matt, you're way more mature than me at this point. I'm not mature yet, because if I was a buff, like obviously I support it because I support Deion. If I was an actual buff, I probably would be talking a lot of shit right now, only because I don't forget. And I remember last year, and it's not even towards just JB. It's just like a lot of people were talking so much trash against Colorado.
Yeah, I know.
And the hype and the Louis and the 4 games and it doesn't work, and just was taking so much content creators. It was all attacking. And then preseason, these guys won't even win 5 games, 4 games, this, that, and the third, and they're 8-2. Like, I know that's not the goal, but sometimes you got to be in the moment, though. But hold on now. Y'all didn't think we would even be this good. So fuck whatever else we're about to do.
They were 4-8 last year. They were 4-8,
and we shocked and we proved all y'all wrong.
They were
they were 4-8 last year.
All the Louis talk, homie. That was valid for us to criticize them. Why is it not valid to criticize them?
Hold on. They were 4-8, lost 6 games by 1 score, and Coach Prime knew what he knew.
Yep.
Yeah. So
he said y'all better get us now.
Why is it not criticize worthy? Is my question.
Everything is criticize worthy. He's not saying you can't criticize it. He's saying everybody that did.
That's what Smitty said, though.
It sure. He didn't say you can't criticize it. He said that people did criticize it.
Right.
So the fact that people did criticize the way that they did, and then now the majority of people have turned coat and tried to jump on the bandwagon so they can get more clicks. I personally think that I don't really need to say a whole lot. Like, everybody knows who everyone is. Like, there's no hiding on social media. There's no hiding on YouTube. There's no hiding on fucking film. Like, you can't hide on film as a player, and you can't hide on film as a pundit. So I feel like, the people that have gone out of their way to try and make their name off other people's misfortune and like not playing well now you look like a fucking idiot. Like, it just period. Because not only are they 8-2, but they're about to be 10-2. Then they're going to win the Big 12 and be 11-2. And then they're going to go to the playoff and be the 4 seed and go. And like, if you think the hype is big, then holy shit. Like, at that point, like, the 4 seed is incredible. I don't know what's going to happen in the playoff. It's the first time we've ever seen anything like this. I'm just fucking ecstatic about being like, it's incredible. So
hey, I think you should be, dog. I swear to God, I think you should.
Like, it's been a long time coming as an alum and as a proud ex-player up there. Again, I'll say we haven't won a bowl game since I was a senior, and that was 20 years ago. So I feel like the tide has turned and CU's back where they should be, and all you motherfucking haters out there can suck my motherfucking dick, and we still smoking. What?
Yeah, I just don't think you played anybody. I think you got the 80th strength.
Well, that's fine. You can think whatever you want.
I'm being honest. You should be fucking happy Period. You're a alum, homie. You're an alum.
You're riding Indiana, and they haven't played anyone either.
No, hell no. And that's my whole point is like, but I'm not an alum of Indiana. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying you should be like super ecstatic about your team. But I mean, they do have the 80th strength of schedule. They are in a conference that's been horrific.
Come on, dog. Just stop.
But why can't two things be true, homie?
Because it's just not. No one's sitting around talking about strength of schedule right now. Like no one in college football at any other turn. There's no other team. No one's sitting around talking about Indiana and be like, their strength of schedule. Like they're just undefeated.
Yeah, I've not heard that all since the beginning of the year.
They're just facts, though. I don't think they beat anyone.
It's facts from your opinion. And look, do they have the 80th ranked schedule? Sure, I guess. I don't know that for sure. And if that's what you're looking at, cool.
73rd, my bad.
73rd and 80 or 7 points away, but whatever. I just think it's
72 from 1.
How do I say this?
Take your time.
But remember, Indiana's 10-0. I don't know. You keep mentioning Indiana. They're 10-0.
I understand. But so what difference does it make? They're 10-0.
No, you just said they haven't played nobody. They're not really blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well,
they haven't played. If you're going to sit here and say CU hasn't played anyone, then I'm gonna find another example and be like, well, Indiana hasn't played anyone. I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying.
He's not hating. He's just saying if you're going to use the argument for Colorado, you got to use it for every other team that's been that same.
Like I'm going to say that the U hasn't played anybody either because they're in the ACC, and neither is Clemson, and neither is SMU. And
guess what?
I'm going to sit here and be like, okay, well. Fucking Penn State hasn't played anybody either, and they might
get in the playoff, and they haven't. That's what's fucked up. That's my whole point about football's watered down, maybe.
It's not watered down. It's different conferences, dog.
I get it, but there's not really like a good fucking like. I haven't really sat around and said, "Fuck, man, this is a must watch for me." Like